YouTube. Hey, everybody. Sorry for the 5 webinars yesterday. I couldn't get it to work. I test the internet speed. Where's the camera, by the way? Over here. I test the internet speed, and I'm pulling like 70 megabits per second. Then I hit stream, and it wouldn't stream. Drop frames. Check the internet speed again. Super fantastic. Restart the software, restart the computer, download and reinstall the software. Still not working. Turns out the ISP at the hotel, for some reason, I don't know, has shut off all upload data. Never thought to check that. Download data 70 megabits per second, upload 0. So, spent 2 hours yesterday on tech support, and guess what? They're like, we'll work on it. We've escalated it. We'll work on it. So today, 0 megabits per second. So live from my phone, New York City, Harvard Club of New York. We're going to have to make this work. Obviously, I don't have screen share. I obviously am not running this platform there. So right now, you can see me and I can see the charts. If I'm lucky enough to be able to turn this, let's see. Am I able to show you my laptop? I don't know. Let's see. It looks like I am. I'm clicking the button. Oh my God. Oh my God. So maybe, I don't know how I'm going to use my mouse now, but maybe. So look, this is going to suck, right? This is going to suck. But here's what I want your takeaway to be. I didn't wimp out on you yesterday, even though the webinar didn't work. I'm not wimping out on you today because it's still not uploading. This is not going to be good, but I'm here for you. I am doing my absolute best. Okay? You know what I mean? I'm going to do my absolute best, and even if that sucks, like the quality, I want you to have that takeaway that I did whatever I possibly could to provide something. Now I'm going to get, this is all very difficult. So hang on, let's see if I can get this going. Let's see if I can get this. Hang on, I'm trying to use a selfie stick. Oops. I'm trying to use a selfie stick as a stand. All right. Now, I suppose if I sit on the floor, I can see your chat. So anyways, we're going to make this work out. Yeah, need some duct tape. All right, how are we? Is this okay? You know what? I forgot the laptops and that company I put money into. They're just starting production in China, and with the virus, production's delayed, and so this is not ideal. But I want you to go with the spirit of what I'm doing. Okay, that's it. The spirit here is this is not ideal. I could wimp out. I can blame the ISP. I could just sleep in. Only slept 4 hours last night. Only slept 4 hours the night before. But I am here for you, and I did not wimp out on you yesterday. All right, so let's go with that. First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience, all that kind of stuff. Thank you to Traders Way for being the sponsor of the Forex.Today community. Thank you for your positive feedback. Thank you for your positive energy. Thank you for everything that you do. Also, let me remind you that trading Forex is risky. It's not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focused on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. And I would like to thank the 6 of you that met me yesterday for cocktails on the roof of the Harvard Club in Midtown Manhattan. And then we zipped over after appetizers and stuff. We zipped over to the Carnegie Club for a drink and a cigar and a drink. And maybe even a third drink. No, I think just 2 drinks. But anyways, we had a wonderful, magical, special night, and it's one that I'll remember forever. So thank you to those that made it there. All right, so I am going to have to just talk now. So I can't I'm going to be able to maybe just catch your chat every couple of seconds. Okay. So anyways, let's just go through the world. Let's just go through the world, go around the world, and we'll call that the webinar. Okay. Everybody, thumbs up. You good with that? We'll just do a quick around the world and fist bump everyone. And how much did that cost? It didn't cost anything. It didn't cost anything at all. All right. All right, so let's go here. So we got Bitcoin still working its way down. We're at the 78.15 handle. And if you remember, the general plan was down, 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 down. And I think we had it at 7,000, right? So we were at 10,000, then 9,000, then 8,000. But our target is 7,000. The most aggressive target is 7,000. And, only $800 away, but $800 on Bitcoin could happen in one day. So this is a one-day chart down last month and then down continuation this month. You can see we've kicked off the central pivot point, the monthly central pivot point. Therefore, it's predicting the monthly S2, which is 7,000. So we're still on our way. Nice little gap. Gap did not fill. Remember, gaps occur in normal markets from time to time, based on, it has to do with money building up and all this kind of stuff. When there's a massive disruption to economic activity, in this case, a giant risk off, it's a fundamental change. And in those situations, you have to be careful that very often the gap will not fill, because it's not just a technical thing. It's not just something that happened over the weekend. There's like a ridiculous fundamental change in the entire market, and they don't have to fill. Now, the reason I say that is some people will immediately, let's say, buy a down gap, believing that it has to close, right? That's one strategy you can do, which I've never recommended. I've always recommended you let the gap fill, and if it does fill, then you trade in that original direction, right? Some people will take it the other way and say, well, if it gaps down, buy into the gap and fill the gap. Well, maybe technically you could do that if you wanted to. By the way, happy coffee. But when there's a fundamental change like this, and central banks like the Bank of England, taking action today and stuff like that, don't jump in front of that freight train, okay? Don't jump into the tsunami, okay? So that's kind of what I consider more of a tsunami than just a gap. It's not just a weekend gap. That's a much different type of gap. Now, here again, there's a gap. We started the gap at 41 and it replaced all the way to 78, right? So you're like, oh, that's a pretty good fill. Notice what's happening here. First of all, I did talk with you guys last week, and maybe, was it Monday? I guess it was Monday, about this idea of symbiotic relationship between bulls and bears need bulls to buy and all that kind of stuff. So pay attention. So like bulls did buy, okay? They bought low and then they tried again. That's cool. But notice like the bears sold where bears are supposed to sell. You may not be able to see this very well. I know, bear with me. But what I'm trying to indicate here is it rose up into the 21 and somebody sold it. Well, they're supposed to sell it. So we know the bears are there, okay? And then where did they sell again? The next roll reversal. Once again, technically important, they're using the weekly S2 as resistance. Now that's not your average everyday move, but they are, right? Like that's not in the textbook. It's not in the textbook because it just doesn't happen very often. But when it does, it works great. Look at this 4 hour. This is WTI, by the way, oil. You see how it kicked off the 1 hour and dropped, and then it went up to the 4 hour 21 and dropped. But it's supposed to do that. That is in the textbook. And then don't get caught up on the fact like you may it's very rare to use an S2 as resistance. It's almost always support, right? But the thing is, they are using a number. They are using a weekly S2. They're using it. Now, typically not a sell, but they are using something that is sort of pre-embedded, if you will. It's the algorithm. They're playing it differently than they normally would, but they are still playing it. So whether you call it I don't think $36 is a psychological level for you, but that 4-hour 21 was played. The 1-hour 21 was played. The weekly S2 was played. This is still very technical, right? And well, if I was a bear, you had a shot earlier, right? Either yesterday or this morning. Okay. But it's dropped $2.50. Like that's 250 pips if you want to look at it that way. Pip for pip, penny for penny. That's 250 pips. Like, where were you 8 hours ago? All right, that kind of stuff. All right. By the way, how are we doing? Are you guys okay? I can see some chat now. I have to sit back because if I tilt the screen so I could see it, you're going to see the desk, and all that kind of stuff. So, we okay? I know it's very difficult, but we're okay. We're getting through it. Okay. Houston will. All right. So we'll continue. Okay. Okay. All right. So what do we know? Talk to me, Goose. All right. What do we know? Bulls bought gold at exactly the monthly M2. Isn't that great? And what is the target if you were a buyer down here? The conservative target was 1707. Oh, snap. There it is. So we've done the full move, the full technical move. I mean, you could argue, oops, using this mouse is funny. You can argue that there's still room to run from, what is that, 1650, which we were at a few hours ago. That 1650 is the weekly central pivot point. Therefore, based on that, you would expect to go to 1750. Okay, you would expect $100 rise. Now, if you use the monthly, it says something similar that you could go as high as 1750. So that's the play I think bulls would be making here. And gee whiz, you're not going to be able to see this, right? So let me try to zoom in now and try to see. Now, if I zoom in, you don't see the targets, but this is a clear buy. This was a clear buy. This was a clear buy. This was a clear buy. Consolidation down to the 55, which assumes more consolidation. So I'd say conservative target is still 1705-ish, but probably on our way to 1750. Cool? Cool? Cool. Thank you. And again, thank you for your patience, guys. I'm just doing my best, man. Doing my best. Cool. All right, let's kind of refresh this bad boy. Okay, so we've blown through the normal pivots. Welcome to a global crisis. 112 and a half. Okay, but 100. So it dropped, we were projecting a drop of 250 pips and it only dropped 200 pips, 225 pips. But it did bounce once again, just like that other currency we were looking at, which is oil. But anyways, whatever it was, you don't typically use an R2 as support, but in this weird case, they did. And the fact is, it's not that you normally do it. That is what I think is, they knew it was there and they played it as a role reversal. They didn't play the price action, they played the pivot. And that is pivotal, right? So there's logic in this market. There are real prices, real people. There's, it's cool. All right. So now if you're a bear, you're probably going to try to work your way down to this 112 level. And if you're a bull, you might either be a buyer now, you might be waiting for an inverse head and shoulders, you might buy a dip. you're probably looking at this as more of consolidation. Okay. So a higher high would be better, or a dip down into this 12 and a half. Okay. But you probably, if it drops here, the number would be more like 12, because here's the funny thing. On Monday, you swing trading. Okay. If you're a swing trader and you finish the swing trading course, you see right away it's out of position. So you're like, oh, I can't buy it unless I kick off the 4 hour 21. But what you can do is take the counter trade off of the Monday top and then ride it back down to the central pivot, and the central pivot's right there. So you got it if you want it. It's pretty cool. Even though it's crazy and the world is falling apart and zombie apocalypse and emergency this and emergency that, you still look at your charts and go, oh, I got this. More coffee. More coffee. Cool. By the way, this room that I'm in was, it's the room 1908. They did a big speech down in the Grand Hall at their 20-year anniversary, and they made a dedication to this room. So all the class pictures and stuff of 19 the room, and then the president of the General Assembly of the United Nations lived in this room for about 10 years, and so some of his work in World War II, post-World War II, is documented on the pictures on the wall and stuff. So I'm not staying in a hotel room. I'm living in a museum. So it's kind of interesting that there are ghosts in this room. You know, the president of the United Nations, this class of 1908. There's plaques on the wall and pictures of the wall, but not of just random things that you bought on art.com or something, but people that also have memories in this room. So kind of neat. So I'm trying to share that with you as well. So welcome to 44th, West 44th. All right. Let's do Aussie yen. Okay, let's do Aussie yen. All right, nice. So I'm still short. I still got my loss at break even. I sold at 72. It dropped to 64. So it dropped about 800 pips, more like 750 pips. So there was a point where I was up about 750 pips on this one trade, but you know, it took me a week. So that's hard work, man. Right? Of course, I'm being facetious, but I got really, really lucky betting on the trend. I've very rarely been lucky as a trader betting against the trend. This is one of those cases where on January 1st, I said I was buying yens. I'm glad I was going to sell Aussie yen, and that we were going to do this until April 1st. In the beginning, for portfolio rebalancing in the United States, right? And then later on, based on Japanese yen repatriation due to fiscal year end in Japan for Japanese businesses. But the general operating procedure that we talked about in December and November was starting J1, starting January 1st, 2020, sell the Aussie yen. So that's all I've been doing since January. And here's one of those things where I got very, 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 very lucky trading my bias. Every once in a while that might happen. Okay. But never try to get lucky betting against the trend or jumping in front of a gap or jumping, no. Okay. Get lucky by holding your profitable trades and find out it goes a couple hundred pips more than you thought. That's the way you want to get lucky in Forex. But what do we know here? Let's analyze this. Okay. The top of this market is the monthly central pivot point. You can see that the week before March, so the end of February, I did a March front run off of the March M2. The target is March M4 to March S2 usually, so aggressively it would be like 66 and a half, but I sold at 72, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good money, right? 500 pips is reasonable. you can see that it then opened on the M2, that if there were bulls in the world, that's where they'd buy it, and they did. And bears were very happy because that's what we needed them to do, because to make another trade, you need them to rise up. So it faded up, right? It's 71.5, which is the monthly pivot. And I guess you probably can't see this, so let me try to zoom in. Okay, came up, hit the monthly central pivot, and 5A cross, MACD. I know there's no MACD here, but you can visualize, or you should be able to visualize a MACD opening up and dropping, all that kind of stuff. So like right in here, there's like 5 reasons to sell if you're a bear. But you had to wait 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days might be a lifetime for you, right? You had to wait 3 days. And then once you got in, it worked. Okay, so now we're back to sort of the gap kind of thing. And I would hope to see a continuation off this 4-hour 21 down. But you'll notice that the angle and separation between the 4-hour 21 and the 4-hour 55 on the Aussie yen is diminishing. Another way of saying it is the moving averages are converging. Another way of saying this is the MACD is clearly below the waterline and quite far below the waterline. However, it is crossed up and moving back toward the waterline. I can see all of this just by looking at it. So if you pop on D under the 21.55.8 settings, you'll see that MACD was down, 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 and now has crossed up sort of and is kind of starting to creep its way back. And all that says is the market was very, very, very bearish. It's less bearish now. If you have a MACD and it crosses back down, so like this would be an opportunity for you to add a MACD. I mean, like, why don't we do it? I don't know if I have it on my laptop preset. I might not even have the right MACD actually, right? Or did I add one? Oh, you know what I probably have? Oh, no. Templates. Let's look at my templates. I might have one. Hang on. I might have added it. FX Bootcamp Standard. Yeah, let's try it. And there's Stokes. Uh-oh. I probably didn't add the proper MACD when I moved things over. Meow. This is not going to work, right? This is the one. Yeah, this is like the standard MACD that you get from MT4 is like the dumbest MACD on the planet. A one-line MACD. It's like a one-armed juggler. Anyways, so you'll have to take my word for it. If you had a MACD and it started to roll over and cross back down, that would be an entry signal for a bear. Okay. Another thing you could look for is wait for the stochastics to get above 80, like it did here, and sell those. So like this is a sell, this is not a sell, this is not a sell, this is a sell, maybe, okay? Not a sell, not a sell, not a sell. So it's interesting where you would have got here, a couple in here, and and maybe we're setting one up. So if it could go a little higher to like 85 and then drop, you're golden. That might be a new entry if you're a bear. Because think of it, you have those other pivots, okay, and you have the moving average, the 4-hour 21. So if price is below the 21, you are bearish and you're aggressive. What? So you'd have to put all that into context. So now you could use a 5-8 cross down to confirm. You could use a stochastic cross like I just explained. You could use a MACD cross. That's a confirmation that it is making lower lows and not making higher highs. Okay, or that's more stochastics. A MACD is telling you that the two moving averages are inching away from each other. Market, but it has to do with moving average. Okay, trend, if you will. All right, let's do this. So that was difficult. I don't know if you could see anything. but you saw something, right? So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was helpful. That's all I'm saying. I hope that was helpful. I know it was strange. I know it was weird. The hotel internet will not give me any upload. I spent 2 hours on tech support and 1 hour just messing around trying to get that webinar going yesterday. Turns out we have 71 megabits per second download, which is fantastic, and zero upload, zero. So I can't run webinars from my laptop. So anyway, so this was what I did, a YouTube live, because I don't need an encoder and all this kind of stuff. I'm streaming right from my phone. So that's the best I can kind of do. I hope it was okay, right? I hope it wasn't horribly, oops, you know what I'm gonna do now? And turn your phone off in the middle of a live stream. All right, so I think I'm still live. Woo. So we can do it this way. Woo. All right. So what do you think? So I want to thank you for your patience with me. Here we go. So this dude ran the United Nations and lived in this room for 10 years. And there's the teams. You should see the basketball team. It consisted of like 5 white dudes, 5'11". Like, things have changed. That wouldn't cut it now. Even in the Ivy League, it wouldn't cut it. Here's the class of 1908. So it's neat, right? Oh, but I'm having a cup of coffee with you. You're my friends and my family, right? So I'm having a cup of coffee with you. It would have been super easy to just sleep in and blame the internet or something. I'm sure some people do that. I can't do that. So yesterday was frustrating for you. It was frustrating for me. I wasted an hour. When you only have 4 hours sleep, you're like, dude, I could have slept in and skipped the webinar instead of just pissing around with it. And then another couple hours on the phone, and they just, I guess they don't know how to turn it on. So anyways, doing my best. So thank you for your patience. And it was really cool meeting, like I said, boot campers getting together, Forex.Today guys getting together and having a cigar and all that club. It's pretty unique place. So now I can see the chat a lot better. Could you see the charts at all? Was it sort of like you could kind of make out what I was talking about, or was I just babbling over blurry stuff and you're like, I don't know what he's doing? Or was it okay? Like it was 2 out of 10, not 0 out of 10. So anyways, yeah, okay, cool. So anyways, I'm giving you the thumbs up. Right, I'm giving you the thumbs up. Yeah, Philip's like, this is 50-50. Yeah, I appreciate the honesty, but I also appreciate the your positive energy and stuff like that. So anyways, so I guess I gotta go, right? I gotta catch a plane. I gotta spread my COVID-19. So yeah, here's the plan. I gotta like pack up, leave, go to the airport, get on a plane, fly them home, walk in the door, cook dinner for the wife and kids, and then I need to start studying for my midterm exams, and I have homework. So it's just like living the life of a rock star, right? Cooking dinner for the kids. Yeah, but that's how you got to do it. And in there, fit your trading life, fitting your trades in, fitting your analysis in, right? So today we got that big Bank of England stuff going on. Coordinated response. Anything coordinated means planned. So if like the central bank does one thing and then, like how about Japan where they cut interest rates, right? The central bank cuts interest rates and then the government raises taxes, like not coordinated, anti-coordinated, right? So if the Bank of England and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, right? Chancellor of the Exchequer, they get together and they do some coordinated response, cool. That's a strategy. So that's really good. Tomorrow is ECB. And I don't know if you listen to Christine Lagarde today, but she's begging the governments to do something. Because what else can she do? They're already providing liquidity. Interest rates are already negative, like, right? Like, what more can she do? So she's trying to get at least the Germans on board. So if the Germans say yes, then the Germans will make the Dutch save Europe. The Dutch will pay for everything. Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah. So what will they do tomorrow? Huh? The risk is they don't do enough or they don't do anything. Peter doesn't want to pay. Peter, if you're Dutch, you're already paying. Like people always, I correct people. They're like, "Oh man, the Germans bailed out Greece." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. The Germans were in control, and they made the Dutch pay for Greece. The Germans didn't pay for anything. The Dutch bought Greece, right?" So, anyways, what can I say? Anyways, yeah, I was bummed out. I forgot my external screens. I just But oh, did you see this? Here's a sidebar. So I got the lap. I got my external screens like you saw when I was in Tennessee. And then I posted something a few weeks ago where I put some money into an MIT startup that builds, like now I don't have to carry them. They're attached. The two external monitors are attached to the laptop. And so suddenly you just turn your laptop on and you go snap, snap, and you got three screens, like three screens built into the laptop. I'm like, oh my God. So I put some money into that, and that's supposed to show up. And then, of course, COVID-19 shut down China, and guess where they're made? China. It's invented at MIT, right? But, anyways, um, I saw a laptop made by another startup company. The whole thing is two screens. So think of two. Well, first of all, think of a tablet, and you do keyboard mode in tablet, right? Where the keyboard pops up on the screen and you're typing on the glass. There's no keyboard, you're just typing on the glass. This new laptop is two screens. You'll open it up and it's like two tablets, glass, glass, no keyboard at all. And when you need the keyboard, it opens up and it goes into laptop mode and you can type and do your email and stuff, which let's say as traders, we would do it for normal life. But now you want to trade. And when we're trading, you just use a mouse. You don't need screens are available. So you can look at it like a normal one where there's an up screen and a down screen, which I would use for webinars. So think of me doing a webinar like this in a hotel. I'd have my MT4 on the top software, which is this encoding and streaming software. So in the lower one, I'd have the OBS studio running. On the top one is what you'd see, which were my charts. And I just have a mouse and I'd have two screens and it'd be no problem. When I'm done, I just snap it and go, right? Right? Better than three screens. Like, oh my God, I just put money into this three screen thing. And all of a sudden, like, I could just have a laptop and have dual screens. And that's all I need. And a mouse. That's all I need is a mouse. I'm not going to like type a paper on the thing. But that for seminars, but for currency traders, can you imagine? You just open up your laptop. You don't need the keyboard and all that, right? You don't need the little mouse pad. You don't need any of that. Imagine you just open it up and you have MT4 on two screens and you got a mouse. You're like, boom, I'm ready to trade. Dual monitor, Windows, just ready to go. And just you and your mouse. I'm like, I could totally use that. So who is it? Acer is trying to do a version of it, and someone else. So there's two other big companies trying to do it, but they don't do a very good job of it. And it's like $3,000 or $4,000 for the laptop. But the startup, if you put money into it, they'll give it to you at cost. And like I could buy it for like $550. I'm like, oh my God, I might just do that. That's fun. But then I'll have this like laptop with three screens, and then I'll have the laptop with two screens. And like, which one do I take? Life's such a problem. So anyways, I don't know if you share those kinds of things, but I'm like, That blows me away. Just mobile currency trader, laptop on a keyboard and a little mouse track. Like, why waste all that real estate? So someone just took two iPads and they're like, it's a laptop, dual screen laptop. Smart, right? Like that's the future, right? So anyways, that maybe someday. But with China shut down, all this cool stuff ain't happening. So, me. Thank you for the last 36 minutes. I think I'll wrap up. Again, thank you for your patience. Thank you to Traders Way. Make sure you go to Traders Way, open a demo account, and give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. Okay? They make this possible. They're good people. Go try that. And I will see you tomorrow for my home office. So thanks for being in my life. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So cool. I will see you tomorrow, guys. Now, if I can find a way to shut this down, I will. Beep. Beep. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yeah. Okay.